Now I need to go to our Google Drive.
Holy moly. It's like, it is the
You
background.
can go to Chrome
Yeah,
and then
I was just
type
gonna
in
see if I had
Drive.
my email up there.
You can go to your Drive
Triangle in the top.
I can't see.
You want me to?
Right here, right?
Yeah.
Are we live?
No.
We are.
Not yet.
Oh, it's gonna have to verify it's you.
We are live though.
Yes.
Okay. I
Yep.
call this meeting of the Randall School Board to session and order and all the good stuff on Monday, June 15th at 5:30 p.m. Attendance roll call. Mrs. Gorkowski.
Here.
Mr. Nolan.
Here.
Ms. Storr. Ms. Thornton absent and Mr. Swanson present. We'll let that act as our executive roll call as well. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't know why it's not letting.
And approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Hold on.
Okay, we'll wait a second for you. I'll verify it too.
Yeah.
Wasn't on this list.
So who was agenda?
I
Randy
made a motion to approve.
Second.
and Lisa.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Sorry, I skipped one. Can we verify that the meeting was posted?
Yes, indeed. It was on Friday at 2:49 p.m.
Need an adoption of the minutes.
I make a motion to adopt the May 18th, 2026 regular closed session minutes, the minutes of the special meeting on May 20th, and the June 11th regular and closed session minutes as presented.
All in favor? Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Okay. Yep, the treasurer's report.
We don't have one per se for the month of June right now because it's being worked on, and Kim will be stepping into the office and Wendy and her will be compiling all of that information once she starts tapping
So
into
we're not
everything.
going to accept it.
Yeah, so we will
So
I
we'll
make a motion to
table
table
it. Mhm.
the treasurer's report.
do need a date. So we're tabling. We just table it.
We'll
Table it to
Well,
the
till
July
July,
meeting. Till
yeah.
the July meeting.
Yep.
I make a motion to
Table
table
till
it till
July.
July board meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Vouchers payable. Probably the same.
Well, it's the same.
It's
Yeah.
all part of it.
Okay,
Yep.
let's keep that one there then. All right. and-
No citizens' comments.
Oh wait, well we do it. Did you want to?
But did you put your comments down?
No, I had to put my comments down.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
You want to
You're
go
fine.
just that you're going
Yeah.
to.
I thought I had to do it for the other sheet. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It wasn't-
Quite all right.
While he's doing that, so just a reminder, everyone, we can ask questions, but we cannot give feedback or any reaction to it. So
You get that?
We can't, I'm sorry.
we can ask questions to clarify, but we can't like take action or do anything like that because it wasn't on the agenda.
Agenda,
Yep.
Yeah, all good. So I had reached out to Andy Amore, 196 Cook Court, Twin Lakes. You can start my 3 minutes. I'll try to keep it quick. I reached out to Alex about this already. Jeff, I picked you too on the side. So I have a little bit of concern about the G&T enrichment program with Miss Mailing leaving. I have 2 kids that are going to be a part of it. One who's in the advanced math right now. He's in 5th grade going into 6th. As I understand that part of it will all stay the same. I think where my biggest concern is it sounds like there could be changes coming in this upcoming school year, as well as I have a 2nd grader going into 3rd grade who would qualify for that program. And it sounds like it might not be there in the future. At least from what Alex had mentioned in our emails back and forth, at this time there is no plan for kids that are going from 3rd and 4th grade to start that advanced math program. I think this is a huge miss by the school for multiple reasons, right? It helps kids get ahead, just like literally what they're doing in 4th grade helps them get ahead for college. Parker's on pace to be 2 years ahead. high school. It also challenges him because if he was in the other classes, he's not gonna be challenged as much because it's just easy. That's gonna be a big thing for my younger one who's got some sensory things, but he's a really smart kid. So once he gets bored, things get worse faster, and if he's not challenged, it's not. I know that like throughout the year, Parker had Jergens in her class, and I believe she left the school and she did a lot of that intervention, and then Manling had to take over a lot of that as well. What concerns me is right now I see somebody listed online, like the application or the position that's listed online says G&T coordinator and interventionist, and it says nothing about the enrichment part. I don't think our kids need to be on iReady more. I hate iReady. Philosophically, as a business model, that's different. But if my son is in advanced math and in enrichment for ELA, he's doing 40 minutes a week of ELA enrichment. He scored his stretch goal for enrichment or for ELA in December, but cumulative when you looked at the end of the year, he was 2 points higher than his grade was in fall. He did 40 minutes of ELA on reading or on iReady a week. The two things don't correlate. Just like if somebody were to say, well, advanced students are testing at average level or around there, they're advanced math students, but they're testing at grade level. Math is cumulative. So once you get so far ahead, yes, you know those skills because you need those skills to do this, but they're not fresh in your mind. So when you go back a year and take that test, your grades are not going to be as good just because you haven't done it. And it's one of those things where if you're not doing that particular thing like fractions or something, it can be a lot. That's all I wanted to say. You guys are doing great. Things are in the right direction. I just worry about this one. Just so you know, if I was on the other side and didn't have two kids that are on the enrichment and G&T side, and I was on the intervention side, I would be here having the same conversation. Because if we lost somebody, we need to figure that out too, right? So that's it. That's all. I have another board meeting I have to go to. So I do mean to just pop in.
Oh, that's quite all right.
I do have another board meeting that I have to go to. One that I'm actually have to sit in Jeff's spot. So I appreciate you guys like listening. Thanks a bunch. And Alex, thanks again for the conversation. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
Andy.
wonderful evening.
Take care, Andy.
Yeah, you guys have a great day.
You too. All right.
All right. We are on to district updates.
District administrators report. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
Yep.
District administrators report.
I shared
Yeah. Go ahead.
I shared out last time we met just some of the updates with the end of year data and whatnot, so I don't have a big presentation. I'll just speak to the fact that we are in some, we're in hiring season. So we've completed some interviews today and last week, and so I'm really looking forward to some of the people that we're interviewing and recommending for hire for all the different positions that are open. And we also start some summer professional development for our staff starting this week. So Tuesday and Thursday, we have some math learning going on to continue our work with the Bridges curriculum that we use in math. And so those are just some summer highlights that are happening so far.
May I ask, how many openings are there that we're trying to fill? If you know.
No, I think I'm quickly 3, I believe. So we have that are still open right now.
Okay.
3, potentially 4 once we have a discussion further about just our modeling in music.
Also, we haven't posted paraprofessional openings, which are not like a staffed opening, but we
Okay.
generally do that a little closer to fall, because if you hire in June, you don't always have somebody coming in by fall. So we post those midsummer usually.
Okay.
Are you getting a lot of applicants that you feel like you have good choices from?
Yeah.
You're not just getting like 2 people?
No, we have way more than
Okay,
2
that's good.
for most positions. Some of like some positions have more applicants than others, but we've had a pool where we spent like 4 hours today interviewing people, 4 hours last week, and when you're in half-hour interview cycles, like we have enough people coming in. I'm feeling good about that. So, and in a lot of the interviews, people have shared that they heard really good things about Randall. So that's another nice thing.
That's a
we
great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is the executive content in here, is that updated, do you know? Or is that left over for
As
that?
far as the IT.
Yeah.
The IT is updated.
Okay.
The June update, I don't know, I believe that was something that you guys wanted last month to see total time off, administrative time off.
Yes.
So we just,
That was kind of tied to
The
the
fringe benefits.
the
all that
fringe
stuff, yeah.
benefits and how that was gonna be classified. Are we reclassifying it?
Yeah.
Are we just reclassifying it because we didn't do things correctly, or how did we get to the numbers that were there?
I think it all ties into us reviewing that fringe benefits
Yeah.
and looking for
Exactly.
contracts, so we're probably okay there.
and if
right
there's
now
things that you
to
guys
review it.
in that process need run, we can do data mines and pull up information based on what you're looking for.
Okay.
We'll do our best.
Yeah. All right.
The IT list of items being recycled, Peyton just wanted you guys to know that these are the things that he will be sending to recycling, and it will be, all the hard drives and everything will be certified by the organization that they were destroyed.
Okay.
He is taking all security measures based on how you dispose of technology. So he just wanted you guys to have a list of the things that we will be sending off to IT heaven. Tech heaven.
Tech heaven. Okay.
Yes.
Then we have discussion items. The first one is the role of the Director of Student Services.
That would be me, so I'm excited to be able to join and engage with you guys. It was shared last meeting, I believe, that there was just some questions and wanting to learn a little bit more about my role, so I'm really excited to be able to come talk to that and hopefully be able to just join more meetings and answer questions and speak to some of the programming and services we have here. So the first two slides are just, within my role, there are two areas or kind of sects of the school. So there's special education, and then there's pupil services. So the difference is special education is a service designed for students with disabilities to ensure they can make progress and have access to our general education curriculum. So those services are really focusing on those three things within the law: access, progress, and engagement. And so we do a lot of evaluations within the school setting to determine if a child is a child with a disability and eligible for service. In upcoming meetings, I'd love to do some just kind of special education basics and speak to just questions on services. But I just wanted to lay out there. The next slide talks about what pupil services is. So that would be outside of special education. Our pupil services are made up of school counselor, school psychologist, nursing, and we don't have a social worker here at Randall, but a social worker also falls into that kind of that section or that programming in schools. And so really these are all of the other programs we have to support students' overall well-being, access in the classroom, their social emotional well-being, engagement and behaviors in the school setting. This is taken directly from DPI in terms of what pupil services does, but it's just those intervention services and strategies to support students functioning here at school. So here that looks like small group interventions, some individual counseling, homeschool collaboration with our pupil services staff, programming with community resources, sharing center, things like that, trying to align programming with families who may need it, system policy change, things like that. So that's just a quick overview on the two sides of the job. So if you want to go to the next slide here and jump in if there's any questions or if I'm going too quickly. But so I wanted to break it apart because I think there's kind of two different areas to describe the role. So the first, I have just some notes here so I don't miss anything, but in the area of special education, so the director is, one area is overseeing financials and budgeting. So in the past, the business manager and I have worked closely to oversee the grant. So we receive a federal grant for special education under IDA grant dollars. So we develop a budget for that grant. I'm entering and monitoring budget within the DPI system. So there's that checks and balance between business and special education. Collaborating to look at things like maintenance of effort, which is just ensuring consistent spending within your special education programming year to year. There's state level formulas and we just make sure we pass that each year. So working with the business office on that. Overseeing our Medicaid billing and reimbursement through Compass Care and with our providers here at school.
Do you want to give an example of like what that is?
Medicaid, yeah, sure. So there's certain services within IEPs that are billable, and then the school is able to receive some funding from the state for those services. So not every student is eligible, and we don't determine that. That's determined outside of the school system. But basically, our providers, so like speech would be billable, OT, they bill for those minutes that they see students monthly, and then we receive some of the reimbursement from Medicaid through the state. And there's some changes with Medicaid billing coming up just with like different requirements, but it's nothing that's like affecting our reimbursements or our practices here. Looking at high cost, so that is our students where their services are more than $30,000 annually. You can apply for high cost special education aid for anything that exceeds that $30,000 threshold. So annually, business manager and I look at, do we have that situation happening? What are those costs that are exceeding that $30,000 and applying to the state for that aid? And then transfer of service. So each year we look at where there are students that transferred in where we it raised the district's cost. There wasn't programming that we had and we had to add in programming. You can apply for like a one-time exemption for that additional incurred service or incurred cost to the district through transfer of service. So it doesn't happen every year, but we just monitor to see when a student transferred in with services, did we need to make an additional hire? Was there programming or contracted staff that we don't have within the district? And then you can apply to increase your revenue.
Now, we have not allowed students to transfer in with needs for how many years in a row now?
That would be
That's just open
that'd be
enrollment.
So if a student moves into your district.
Moves in.
Yeah, so if a
Okay.
resident, if they join
Okay.
as a resident and they have programming that the district then incurs that cost,
But
you
you
can
said
apply.
transfer.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
one that-
Yes, yep, no, it's a good question.
And
Yes.
also, you're not correct. We did allow two
Two
Yes,
last year,
Last year there was a
second grade,
and a
fifth grade.
I don't know that we
And one
actually,
was Phil.
Yep, thank you.
No, good question. Sorry, I know this is me. So staffing and evaluations, looking at case managers, paraprofessionals, or related service providers within our special education department, doing observations, providing feedback annually, doing the hiring in conjunction with the principal as well. Collaborating on professional development. This year, we worked really closely with the principal and grade level teams to ensure there was cohesion across what they're teaching in that specially designed instruction and providing access to that tier 1 instruction in the classroom. So doing professional development for our staff. Contracting for any required services. So we have providers that we employ as a district, but then we also contract for people like OT, PT, deaf, hard of hearing, vision, audiology, orientation, mobility. So we contract for evaluations if we don't have the staff. We contract for services, or if we had like a staff out on leave, we would contract for those services as well. I LEA most evaluation and IEP meetings, and I also review all of those evaluations and IEPs ahead of time and then before they go out, just to ensure they're compliant and that we're continuing to improve our plans and how we're writing those
What does
services for
LEA
students.
stand for?
thank you.
Yes, local education agency.
Thank you.
So you have a local education agency rep, an LEA on any team. So that's basically just the district representative, somebody that could make determinations regarding services.
I've done a couple, but the vast majority Morgan does, but like one of us is gone.
If like someone on your staff does their assessment and then it, like, you go through and be like, yes, is that what you're saying? Is that?
No, it's more that, so it's always a team discussion and determination, but it's more that there's a representative of the district that would make determinations on like, is there programming here, or what we need to discuss outside placement, yes, so generally, in on those meetings, so facilitating, the PCSA process, it's procedural compliance self-assessment. It's every 5 years, every special education department does it, and it's kind of your audit. And so you look at, are your services, IEPs, compliant? We do that every 5 years. We last passed it in September of 24. We completed it across the 23-24 school year, so we'll have that again in the 28-29 school year. So overseeing compliance with state reporting. So there's a lot of different indicators listed here, 7, 12, 11, 13. So this would be reporting on like entry and exit of early childhood services, timely evaluations, preschool transition when we receive services from a birth to 3 programming, making sure we're timely in completing those evaluations before a 3rd birthday. Indicator 13 would be like post-transition planning for our students who turn 13 within a time span of an IEP. Starting that transition planning here, it's 8th graders. So just getting that started, but overseeing that reporting to the state, any dispute resolution or complaints related to special education, I would be involved in working with those families in that process. Joint federal notification review, so this is a report that districts receive annually, and it looks at their compliance with IDEA regulations. So looking at, are you compliant within your departments on timeliness of your evaluations? It looks at graduation rates, which doesn't necessarily apply to our setting. assessment, participation and proficiency, disproportionality and discipline, what setting you're educating students in and trying to be as inclusive as possible. So just monitoring that you either receive that you're meeting requirements and you would pass, which we are, or sometimes districts are identified as needing assistance or intervention depending on the indicators reporting. And then seclusion and restraint data collection and reporting. So we train on those things, but then also if there was an instance of seclusion or restraint, we report that to the state.
What about de-escalating situations? Do you guys bring in, because I know there's like companies that you can hire to come in and teach. Do you guys get into that type of stuff?
So with our NVCI training, so that would be non-crisis violent or non-violent crisis intervention. So the whole first portion of the day, it's a really nice training because the whole first portion is focusing on de-escalation, recognizing when a student's becoming maybe it's more dysregulated, those stages of dysregulation, what we would do as a staff member to support that student. Really, there's a very small portion of the training that's focused on holds and like appropriate and safe holds for students if it was an imminent safety concern.
Are A's in that, or is it mostly just teachers?
It's generally all paraprofessionals within the special education department. We also have case managers join. We don't have like all staff join because we wouldn't have like.
Don't you have to have some cert for both?
So that's the certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like de-escalation, you have to come in.
But I guess it maybe I was confused, because I guess I didn't think we had that many, so you're saying we do all of our A's?
Special ed aides?
Yeah.
So we have any paraprofessional join because so much of the day is focused on like best practices with supporting students if they are experiencing some sign of dysregulation. How are we going to create an environment that's helping them to regulate and kind of remain or re-engage? So we do have everyone join. We do not have many staff that are engaging. There's generally a team that would respond if there was a whole that would handle it. Okay, so that was the special education side, and then on the pupil services side, other things that fall under my role would be the Title IX coordinator. So this is the legislation just requiring that there's no discrimination based on sex, and so coordinating just that we're compliant to legislation in terms of our policies and practices, and then also if there was any grievance, facilitating that grievance procedure and investigation. So out of home care, McKinney-Vento liaison, so that's relating to our students that are in foster care for out of home care. And then McKinney-Vento liaison is facilitating services for students that are identified as homeless. Coordination of pupil services team and staff, so again, hiring for our school psych, our counselor, in conjunction with the principal as well, doing their evaluations. Overseeing and supporting ACP process. This was a little bit new to me this year, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But just looking at what we do for our 8th graders, we don't have a high school within our district, so it looks a little different than some of those larger districts. But what are we doing for that academic career planning and helping our students prepare for that next level? Overseeing it and supporting community engagement and resources for the community. So we've run a couple parent connection nights in the last couple years that I've been here. We did one on screen use. We did one this year on like our attendance practices and the importance of attendance. We don't have a ton of engagement yet, but we're going to continue to work on those things.
How has attendance been on those?
I don't think the last couple of meetings actually happened. I think Bob canceled them. And I had a lot of people asking me about that. Like, well, when is it going to get rescheduled? It was like, right, that parent connection. I feel like the last meeting or two it was supposed to happen because I had specific people ask me and I honestly didn't know because I didn't sign up to be on it.
I think maybe that was related to like he was doing some maybe planning with mission and vision, but the pupil services staff facilitated a presentation for families on our parent connection night, and they were in the library. They presented on attendance practices. What does the state law say? What is our process here at Randall? And then really why is attendance important and how can we support your student if they needed it? We didn't have a lot of engagement.
When was that? During the parent connection night. So
Was it in the library?
Yep. Yeah. So we're gonna continue to work on like bringing families in.
to that point, like
Yeah.
some of that information goes out in the SMORE, but we're thinking about this year how to get information out in different ways so that like the thing, not that the SMORE is long, but so things like that don't get lost or in the SMORE. Maybe if there's a different place to put it to highlight that these things are happening so that people maybe don't skim over it or whatever it might be.
Coordination of our MLSS process. So that's really looking at how are we supporting all students that may need either targeted academic or social, emotional, behavioral interventions, kind of at the universal level, that tier 2 level, and then more intensively at that individualized level that wouldn't be related to special education programming. Implementation of our social emotional learning. Last year was our first year we did Character Strong, which was our tier 1 social emotional curriculum school-wide, so that's been really exciting. Act 20 implementation, that's our regulations related to the early literacy. Personalized reading plans, and working with both our reading specialist and our principal on implementing those requirements within our multi-tiered systems of support. Pupil non-discrimination reporting. Annually, districts are required to report on policies, procedures, and complaints related to discrimination against pupils of protected classes, so we submit that report annually. Overseeing grant spending. This isn't necessarily something that's annual, but there have been in the last couple years some kind of one-time school-based mental health grant. There was a Getting Kids Ahead initiative where there was grant money, where we used that to implement Character Strong at the tier 1 level, and to incorporate some additional equipment related to regulation for all students to access. And then just PD and training. A lot of this has been taken over using Vector, so we provide like the mandatory reporter training, looking at child abuse and neglect, suicide prevention, and then providing staff with annual model awareness and resources.
What do you do for suicide prevention?
So in the last few years, we do annual model notice for staff, we provide resources, and then this is something that they've touched on in guidance, but since guidance has gone more to the primary level, we're looking at incorporating that within our health curriculum, doing some lessons targeted towards like well-being, and if somebody's struggling, what are ways you can do to help. And then if there's been a need where we've needed to address that, we've met with grade level teams to talk about what resources are available, signs if somebody might be struggling or if you're struggling, and what you can do to seek that support. So
Did you say counseling is only doing primary and not middle school? Is
so
that what I
guidance,
understood?
guidance lessons, they're at a younger grade level. It's not like across the entire.
Yeah, guidance doesn't necessarily happen past, I have this in second grade, first grade maybe, like the actual guidance class, but then as students are in middle school, they do have that health class, and in that health class is where some of these topics are discussed.
Yeah, I hope we can, get them some more.
I agree, I think we need to look into that a little further.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I promise I'm wrapping this up quickly, just resources for families. We don't have a social worker currently, so a lot of times we're in meetings and something comes up, like a family's looking for something specific, and I try to make sure we can get those resources to the families that need them. Collaboration with specific teams. If there was a specific student that needed support, at times I'm joining a team to problem solve if they had questions or they needed, an additional kind of level of support. I've served as an internship supervisor for our last 2 school psychs, and also met with our counselor, not as a supervisor, but just for some supervision during her practicum. And then we're a very small district, so we wear many hats, other duties as assigned, passing out forward snacks with Miss Stoll, or, whatever, just jumping in as needed to support, so.
Just curious, what would you say, like, percent-wise is IEP special education related versus people services? Is it 50-50? Is it I am 75% special? That, you know what I mean?
That's a good question. I would say I spend more time dedicated to special education because there's a lot, that goes into the programming. I also think it's dependent on who's in what role. So I think year to year that can look different. There's years where I'm asked to join more teams, just I have the school psych background previous, and so sometimes I'm jumping into more meetings related to pupil services than I typically would. So that varies a little bit year to year, but I would say there's more time spent within special education programming than our like overall pupil services, but it just varies depending on the need.
And so I know our staff, like the teachers, are you sitting with teachers? Do you sit in with your staff as well?
For what?
Like monitoring, like, okay, there's their lessons or how they're.
The observations.
Are you talking about observations in
Yeah.
classrooms?
Yeah, so Ms. Garcia and I both did observations of all case managers this year, so we kind of divided it. So we would share in that evaluation and then did the evaluation meetings together at the end of the year. I've generally, the last year I did all the paraprofessionals. I tried to do at least 1 to 2 with each paraprofessional as well.
And you did primarily oversee the school psych and
Yep, psych and speech, I do all related service. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions on the role?
Not on the roll, but is there, in light of where we're at, waiting for 30 days for a business manager, is there any help that you need from the board? Or is there anything that we could do to aid you?
Sure.
So you're not falling behind in financial reporting or
Sure.
grant application?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to July 1. I think
Okay.
we're okay.
Okay.
I think a lot
That's
of
all I
it,
wanna
there's
know is
nothing
if-
like we have to do it by next week, but I do
Okay.
appreciate the question.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a nice transition just to have that collaboration again between both departments.
Okay.
Any other questions on the Sorry, I know that was long.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you for
We
coming.
asked for this.
I know, okay.
And we hope you come more.
No,
than
I'm
just-
really excited to be able to join, engage with you guys, so it's definitely my plan to be here.
Anytime you wanna be here.
For us to help you guys when we know what you guys are dealing with, and if you guys aren't at these meetings, we're gonna to know we don't know, so.
For sure.
We plan to be at all of the
Yeah.
meetings.
That's awesome.
Education for
Yep. The education for employment plan is next.
Okay, so this is just required, all districts have a plan in place, and that it be reviewed by the board, it's really just including, do you guys have?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's in our notes.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
So really, this was used, there's a couple area districts that use kind of a similar model. There's certain requirements within every E4E plan, which is really looking at what is our academic career planning process here at Randall. So a lot of this is talking about our mission and vision, our goals for our students, what's included in our ACP process. At the elementary level, we're really working on those skills that are gonna make a productive citizen and really just good human beings, and working on those social, emotional, executive functioning, emotional regulation skills at that level. And then in middle school, we continue to build those skills, but look at the academic and career planning through our academic leadership course, and they do those Zello lessons through that ACP process within that ACALEAD course. We also include other academic tracks to kind of prepare them for future skills. Financial literacy was one. We do work with Wilmot on high school transition support, having them go over for Junior Panther Day. Specifically for students that have additional services or needs, we individualize that within their post-transition plans. We are coordinating with the high school on that transition from 8th to 9th. So really this is just describing that process in a more lengthy document. Do you guys have questions on that?
Did we do career day last year?
No, last year we didn't. So our counselor, she had her practicum or internship, so she had some days that she was spending at Wilmot, so it was a little bit less time here, and then she had her same guidance and caseload. So I think that was something that she intended to do and just hadn't done, but the year before she had different presenters come in, and that was something that
I think it was a
she
miss
plans to do.
to not do. I think career day should be something that we ensure that we do.
Yeah.
We do have. I mean,
And last year was the first one that I remember us
it
doing
was 2
it.
years ago.
Yeah.
We
2
know
years
because
ago.
we were both there.
I was there last year with you.
It wasn't last year.
Yeah, it was because TJ was there for the pilot one and he was in high
Yeah,
school
it
this
was
year.
last year. It was the first time we had done it.
Yeah,
Our
last year was the first one
Yeah,
we've ever
okay,
done.
you're right. But I guess I was looking at last year being like
2 years.
The school year was
Yeah.
finished.
Yeah, we haven't started the new school year yet.
Yeah,
So do you
definitely.
need that approved?
That's in
Yes, it
approval.
is. The board has
Yep.
to approve that process.
It's in our next section.
All right. Anything else on that then?
Any questions you guys have? No, anything else on your end in terms of ACP? A lot of this is overseen and implemented by the counselor and who's teaching the academic leadership courses, and so some of the planning is in the beginning of the year. I definitely agree. She had indicated too, she wants to do that.
she's
career
done with
day.
her internship
Yeah.
thing or
Yep.
so that's not finished.
Yep, so she definitely wants to bring that back in. And that's something we describe here too, is bringing in different individuals with different careers, present to students.
Me and Jeff were all stars in that.
No one wanted to be a salesperson after it though, so that's where you fall where other things fail.
I don't think I really picked my career either.
All right. Our next one is just a district administrator search update. So I asked to put this one on just so we could talk in open session from what we did in our closed session. So I'll recap it, and then anything that you guys wanted to add, feel free. The board met on June 11th. And what we talked about was our plan for the district administrator. Right now is a tough time to find one at the end of the year. And we don't want to rush the decision. We don't want to just get a body. We want to make sure we have someone who's very good in this position and good for Randall. So what we will be working on doing is picking an interview board with at least 2 board members, encouraging all 5 to attend the interviews if possible, would be ideal. We will most likely have other people on that search and on that interview process as well. We have to define what that looks like a little bit more. We didn't really go through that entire process. Our plan is right now to look for an experienced interim DA to help with the transition for the next year. Then we'll work on kind of 2 options with that. The first one, Ms. Garcia, will be helping to support that interim role as she's completing her licensing process and helping her grow in her professional career. And at the same time, keep the option to open for a full-time position for the search next school year, depending on what direction we feel we need to go at that time. So we're excited. We've gotten a couple good names, I think. We've reached out to certain people around the state and in the community for interim DAs, and we'll be starting that process here very shortly to go forward with. Anything you guys want to add to that?
No. So you've already had responses?
I mean, we've
Or
so
you-
I've
or
asked
they-
Alex to give us some names of people that she might
Okay.
recommend. You had a couple that you
Yep.
thought you might know. We had one other person we were going to reach out to. I can't remember his name, if they had recommendations.
John Conrad?
Yeah, so we're kind of pulling names together right now of people
Okay.
that are known, but we haven't reached
I
out.
was
to
just
them
wondering
yet.
if we reached out as of yet.
No, not yet. We were kind of collecting those names to
Okay,
start.
sounds great.
Do we need to figure out the two for the, and then,
So probably I don't know the best way to do that because we don't have that
For what?
for the to choose who's going to be on the as a discussion. Can we like have that
So
conversation
we had
now?
talked about, there's gonna be two.
At least
like,
two that are kind of
And
leading
then
it.
we're, like you said, encouraging everybody to attend, but
Right.
that might be hard with schedules,
Mhm.
so we're gonna say like these two are, you're gonna
So-
work around these two.
I would say
and-
President Vice.
You guys
Yeah.
decide
President
who
start.
you want to
That's
do
fine.
Why
the,
don't we take the? Why don't you and I take the like? We'll be the chairs
Yes,
of that committee, and then anyone else who can join, we'll just. But that way, we'll coordinate our schedule and go from there. And then, again, we'll have to kind of just discuss what we've done in the past on who sat on that interview committee and things like that. Because I don't, you might know that. I don't know that answer. What
like
we've
in
done in the
terms
past.
of, like.
Is it just board or is it other people? What have we
No.
done?
No.
you did talk about reaching out to the RTA.
Yeah.
Having them,
I have Miguel's
their
contact
leadership on there,
information now. So,
Miguel's,
yep.
That would be internal, and if you wanted elementary, middle school representation, encore representation, kind of getting a broad spectrum of areas in the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everyone who interviews, there's gonna be strengths and weaknesses
Yeah.
in different areas.
Yep.
And I hate to say this, if you're all on the board, you're asking it, we don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
You enlighten us with a lot of information, we all probably sit here and say,
Yeah.
It's just a different role, but that's why you do what you do. So we need to make sure that all those bridges are. we
Like
have
the
answers.
like leadership, especially like the administrative leadership for Morgan to be there. Obviously,
We
Alex.
do- The only thing we do have to keep in mind, you wanna keep it, you don't wanna
You
have
don't want
24
to.
people,
That's what I was just
No,
thinking.
no.
because you'll never get a decision.
Yep.
So yeah, that's, if you guys are leading it, you
I'll-
got,
we'll
you
chat,
gotta
we'll-
come up with that.
Yeah, we'll chat. We'll.
And we can set a committee meeting, like
Yeah,
an
that'd be
ad
good.
hoc committee meeting together for you guys to lay out how you want to start, and we can go from there.
That works. Yeah, we'll coordinate that and get that done here this week then.
Okay.
No other comments on the admin search?
Not this one.
Okay. All right, then we have the approvals. So the first one is the personnel report.
I make a motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? I'll just say on the personnel report, the exit interviews that were requested and completed are in there, so you guys can read through those. Just so everyone knows what I do there is I just write verbatim. I go back and like clean it up because my text doesn't always go, so I read it to make sure it makes sense. Sometimes it probably doesn't in some of them still, but that is as verbatim as possible in those exit interviews.
So, and maybe this is more of our committee thing, what is your plan for that? Like,
For the exit interviews?
yeah, I mean, what I don't want is we do these exit interviews, like, we need to actually like,
So that would, I would think, would fall now to Alex because it's personnel who reports to her. So we kind of collected the data, we shared it with admin and that team.
okay,
So I would say if we wanted to, we could always request anything that we would like, an update or review if we
And I
wanted to.
It could be the whole board, absolutely, and or it could fall with a committee.
we have a committee
Oh,
that does, so that's
Yes,
fine.
then that's where, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance.
No, that's okay. Honestly,
Well, it could be.
honestly, we literally
Yeah.
just added it
Yeah.
to a committee.
Just for that reason.
So,
Then
yeah.
yeah, I'd be happy to go through that.
Okay.
Or just look for themes or.
And then if you guys feel like you need something to update on the board, then with that, that would come out of that committee then.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yep. The education for employment plan.
I make a motion to approve the education for employment plan as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the Washington DC trip.
I make a motion to
Time out.
approve. Oh. It's not for discussion. Just so you know.
Then
What are you looking for?
I think there's some things that we should kind of discuss, right? What did we have, 14 kids go last year? I really don't,
I'd have to look, it,
14 go is 14 go.
I get it. I'm invited this guy. And then, I mean, that price jumped pretty significant, I believe, again.
The thing about that, it's completely optional
Yeah, I know.
and it's run, it's advised, and then there's, I don't know how many schools joined us last year.
Lakewood,
Bristol,
Bristol.
Bristol usually
No,
does.
it's Bristol, Brighton,
Was it Brighton?
Brighton.
Could have been Brighton.
And Riverview.
So it's multi-school,
Yes.
and then each school has their advisor that,
I guess I was
but then
just curious,
Jenny
there-
is run,
Yeah,
well,
Vanderloop, yeah,
was basically advising it from the,
yeah,
what do you wanna say, master control center?
yeah.
But it's through an organization, so that's the
I guess I
pricing.
was just curious, is there other organizations that do this, that,
there are many other organizations that, host.
is it worthwhile to even look into? I guess I'm just, great, yeah, cool, we had 14, but it's kind of sad that the other 60 kids, I made up the number, okay?
Yeah,
Mhm.
around that. I mean, if you want to, I can look into comparables.
I don't know, this is,
Do we want to, can we approve this not to exceed that number? Can we do something
Mhm.
like that? So,
Mhm.
you know, if we know, if we have a quote for the $16.99 per student, we could at least approve it and say, yes, we want to do the trip, but we don't want to exceed that number. And if we find a better option, that lets us move to that other option then.
Mhm.
I guess part of it is like, we should do that, like, we should even look at, yeah.
Yeah, we should probably get three. We should
When do
probably
we
find
need
two
to
or three
have
in it.
this approved? This is something that needs
Well,
to be
it's
approved.
dependent on the company.
Yeah,
Well, cause
So
even
it's-
at your dates, right, like, if we picked a different company, would you necessarily be going to 18 through 20?
I would say your motion would be,
We just
you would approve an 8th grade Washington DC trip not to exceed $16.99. And
So we're gonna promote this trip starting tomorrow? Is that why, I
Yeah.
guess, when do we promote this
starts-
trip?
it starts at the very beginning of this coming school year, because.
So why are we pushing it into June if you do that? I
Because-
guess if we wanna find out more information,
Because if they, when they get the contract,
yeah.
they start setting up all of the payment plan options
okay,
and all that
so
kind of
my
stuff
whole
through
thing
their
is,
company.
once we make this commitment, we're gonna be tied to the company, it doesn't matter if we find someone else, cause we're already gonna be, we're probably gonna have a commitment to them if we sign a contract.
Unless we approve it at this, not to exceed it, but tomorrow they reach out and they find someone else and they go,
Okay.
if they go quick, right? And that
Okay.
gives it, that saves us having to come back a month from now. If we approve it not to exceed
You
that
could
number.
say upon review
Yeah.
of other options, not to exceed $16.99.
I don't know what the contract is. We didn't see a
Yeah,
contract for it, so.
I've got
I'm
no
with you.
idea.
I'm honestly just trying to figure out how we can make it a little more affordable so that other kids can go.
Mhm.
I hate to say this, everything's going up, and it's probably going up by the day right now with gas and fuel.
Gas coming down.
Plane prices. Oh, yeah, it's dropping like a, yeah, let's not go there. But you think about airline tickets, they've gone through the roof.
They have. I can't get anywhere for less than 600.
disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
We'll get them on a bus. I'm just kidding. Calm down. But I'm just saying, like,
Do we know the terms of the contract that we would have to sign by a certain time?
I'm just looking through my emails if I have the contract. I have, the form that was filled out. And I'm just looking if it's linked anywhere here.
and I guess part of it is like if we could say like, listen, we've looked at other companies in the past,
Comparables.
and
Mhm.
trust me, this is the one we want to go with.
Right.
Yeah, even if the price is a little more,
I
because
just wanna make
of good
sure by us
experience and stuff
doing-
like that
first
too.
of all, we
I
couldn't
think it's
be
the same
doing
company
this.
we've used for years.
But since we are,
They do a good job.
I don't wanna vote on
They do.
something and have us tied to it. And if we're just voting for a dollar amount, I mean, that's not. Yeah.
We'll get information from Jenny to find out what the deadline is, cause maybe it's a June 30th deadline. We can kind of,
Alright, let's table it and then we can always
Come
have a special
together
meeting if we
We
need
can
to.
always call in the morning and
Yeah.
have a special meeting
If we need to.
for it.
So if you guys want to
So I
table it,
make a
that's good.
motion to table the approval of the 8th grade graduation DC trip for
Second.
April of 2027.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? I'm gonna do a nay. I think we'd have been fine.
you're gonna do
Yeah,
nay?
I will.
You rebel, you.
Okay,
I know. I think we'd have been fine, but we'll go with majority.
okay.
3, 2, 1.
To be clear, I don't think it would. I
Yeah.
think we 100%.
No, I'm for
We wanna do something.
never get to
but
vote
I
nay.
don't wanna
It's usually me. It's usually me.
Yeah.
So then we have committee updates. What I'm gonna recommend, we didn't do committee update
No.
because of the district administrator conversation. I suggest that we pick these up in July and just have Alex fill the spot as Bob for those committee meetings for the time being. if everyone's good with
That's
that.
okay with you?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'll work with you on setting those up, okay?
I know
I
that
don't want us to.
Mary and I have been talking already about setting up the academic meeting for next week sometime, so that one I'm in on, but then there are the other
Whatever
ones too.
your schedule's like, because your schedule's a lot
Yep.
more
Yeah,
complex.
if we need to change our
than ours
times
at this
around.
point. Especially yours.
And then board member comments. Just for me, congrats on a successful end of year. Seemed like everything went smooth there at the end. I saw the videos of all the teachers waving to the bus, which the community always says is like one of their favorite things to see. So very nice job getting the school shut down and the kids out for summer.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it went well, and the last week, it just feels like a whirlwind of different activities, but that's what makes the school culture it is. So it's good.
I've got two things. First of all, I went to the Wilmot High School meeting.
Yeah.
Met a bunch of people, great people over there. And I'm looking forward to continually going there. Primarily, their biggest focus right now is a referendum. They passed the referendum, and they are now, through all the prices escalating so far, they've got a lot of work to do quickly, and they're doing a great job. So I just wanted to say that. The second thing I wanted to bring up to our board is, we've talked about this for 2 years now. I think the concept of talking to Lakewood again should be brought up in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the same position we are. It's almost,
same position as we are.
they don't have an administrator, we don't. Okay, that's what I mean by that. So from a lack of leadership, it could be a great time to talk and see if there's even an interest. Put this issue
I can put
to
out
bed
there
one
then.
way or the other.
I can ask them about it. I think we talked about it last year that this fall we would open the conversation about the cert or the study again. But I can just reach out to their president and see if that's even something that they would consider right now.
Now, just so you know, if we're doing that study, we need to meet before
Yeah.
we get to that point about
Yep.
parameters of that as well.
What are we talking about?
Economic or feasibility study of consolidation.
It'll kind of give you a 5-year view.
Because if
of,
they don't pass, they're gonna come this way anyway.
well, they have one more, so you can try the referendum 3 times.
Yep.
So they do it this fall, and then if it
And they're not
fails
changing
again,
any of the numbers,
yeah.
they're putting everything exactly
if they
the
would
same
fail
way.
again this fall, they would have one more shot to put it on another one.
It's all marketing, like you have to market.
Yeah,
And they did, actually. I saw a lot of it for them.
Yeah.
It was close.
They barely, yeah, it's like only 1 or 2%.
So we'll see. But yeah, I can, if you guys want, I can reach out to their president, just ask the question if that's something that they would want to look at, so. See what they
Thank
say.
you. That's all I wanted to say. Those are my 2 points.
What is summer school?
Next week is the first session, and then the second session is
I only brought it up for the next week one, the June one, so make sure that we.
June
This is a reminder,
22nd.
summer school is next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, summer school next week.
22nd through the 26th. Ms. Sproul and Mr. Adamek will be here. They've put a lot of time to set up the like what it looks like and the staff that are going to be teaching it. So we have all the materials sitting out there already, and so they're looking forward to that.
How is attendance for next week's session?
I mean, it's hard to, you're comparing apple to an orange.
I
It's a
understand.
totally different model. So
I understand.
I would have to ask Renee for her spreadsheet. I know the attendance is down.
It's gonna
Absolutely.
be.
Yep, it's down
I
overall.
think it was just over 100.
So I'm gonna keep us out from discussion and into comments, because this wasn't on the agenda for
The
summer
only
school.
thing I wasn't trying to say is what is
Sorry.
summer school, so we gotta.
Keep us legal. All right, any other comments? All right,
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And then hold on a minute, let me turn off our streaming.
Well, that was my quickest meeting ever.
Hold on, just a
Faster.
sec, hold on, just
Faster.
a sec,
Oh.
just a sec.
It's been so
Wait,
Good word,
it'll
I
become a
can't
lot
see.
better over time.
bottom left.
The next 3 months are gonna be long.
Yes.